Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share my Seekh Kebab recipe with everybody. So let's get started. So here I have 3 pounds of mince, and I'm going to use 3 medium-sized onions, about 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 green chilies, and a bunch of cilantro. And here are some of the spices from your spice rack. So I have some zira, some garam masala, some coriander, some red chili flakes, and some salt. I will list everything down below, so don't worry about that. So go ahead and add that to your keema, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the cilantro and the garlic in there as well. Now I'm going to use 1 packet of Seekh Kebab masala. So you can use that, you don't have to, but I like the taste of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of ginger paste in there as well. And also for 3 pounds of keema, you can just use 2 boxes of this. But I chose to use 1 box of the Seekh Kebab masala and the rest of the spices from the spice rack. So go ahead and add your masala in there as well. Now go ahead and grab a bowl and put some cheesecloth on there. You can use paper towel, but they tend to rip, so it's best if you have a cloth like that. And now we're gonna go ahead and chop the onions and the green chilies and use the food processor to chop those up. The reason we need a cheesecloth or a paper towel is to squeeze all the liquid out of the onions. So you'll see here after I chop them up, go ahead and transfer them to the bowl with the cheesecloth, and try to squeeze as much liquid out of that as possible. Now here you will see how much liquid the onions really have in there. So go ahead and squeeze all that out. That is a lot of onion water. And after squeezing all that out, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer the onions to the mince, and now mix everything with your hand. It's best to have a glove on because sometimes the spices do tend to burn your hands. So go ahead and give that a mix with your hand before we put it in the food processor and mix it in there. That step is not necessary, but it helps in binding everything together and mixing everything well. I have 3 pounds of mince, so I'm gonna add a little bit at a time. So you can split the recipe. I just had this keema in the freezer, and this keema for some reason had a lot of fat in it, and I just wanted to get rid of it, so I used the whole thing. After mixing it well, go ahead and transfer everything back to the same bowl as we mixed it in. And now go ahead and give that a mix, and you'll see that the texture has changed quite a bit. Now don't go ahead and make the kebabs right away. We're gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge for a while. Now if you have skewers, you can definitely use that, but I'm going to show you how to make that using a wooden spoon. and we're gonna make the Seekh Kebab with that. Now there's no need to add any type of oil to the pan because the keema usually has enough fat in there. So I'm gonna apply some oil to this back of the spoon and to my hands, and go ahead and grab the desired amount. Now these may seem very big and very long, but they will shrink and shrivel up quite a bit. Plus this one has this keema has a lot of fat in it, so this will definitely shrivel up quite a bit. So go ahead and make it as long as you like, and then slide it off the wooden stick or the spoon, and then just line it on your baking sheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you another one. You can definitely use wooden skewers as well, but I did not have any of those on hand, and plus those are very thin, so it's best to use something that's a little bit thicker. So here, slide it off, fix it a little bit with your hand, and it's not gonna stick because you have oil on your hand. And then go ahead and line it on the baking sheet like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to make all of them, and while I'm making these, the oven is preheating to 475. Now go ahead and put them in the oven to bake. They usually take about 35 minutes. And the rest of the mixture that I had remaining, I also made some Seekh Kebabs with that. I'm going to freeze those. Now after about 35 minutes, I took them out, and as you can see, there's a lot of liquid and fat from that keema. So I'm going to go ahead and drain that, and then turn them over and put them back in the oven for another 10 minutes or so. You can put these under the broiler as well, but then you have to be very careful not to burn them. So and make sure you don't drain the fat from that in the sink. Just put it in an old container of some sort, or put it in foil, and then throw it in the trash. So go ahead, turn them over, and then put them back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Now you can make naan at home if you want to, tiny small ones for those, because I'm making naan kebab, but I'm using store-bought ones, and I have chutney, green chutney, and my sauce ready. And I also chopped up some lettuce, cucumber, and onion. You don't have to use all of those things. You can choose whatever you want to put in there. Any stuffing that you want to do is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and heat up all of my pitas on tawa or a pan. And after the 10 minutes are over, I took my kebabs out, and this is what they look like. They were perfectly done. The spices and everything were just perfect for me. So go ahead, and I'm going to show you how to assemble the Seekh Kebab. So here I have the Greek pita, and I'm going to go ahead and add the sauce on the bottom, then add lettuce, and top it with the Seekh Kebab. Now if it's a smaller Seekh Kebab, you can add 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1.5 in there, and then top it with cucumbers and onion, and then go ahead and top it with the green chutney. Your perfect Seekh Kebab, or Naan Kebab in this case, is ready to serve. I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of them. If you have fussy kids in your family, this recipe is going to be a hit, not with just kids, but with all the adult members in the family as well. And you will see that they'll ask for it over and over again. This is also a great recipe for Ramzan, which is coming up very soon. And it's better to have baked food than fried. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. And see you again with another recipe very soon.